Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Now we have a minister of German economy who is coming out and supposedly is going to challenge the United States of America, and he calls other countries, the European Union, from the European Union, to join the fight against or to join the opposition of U.S.'s taking over Europe economically as well. Militarily, Europe is already under the US's occupation and under the veil of the cover of NATO. So, we have an enemy right there, the Americans tell us. Let's say I'm Poland. Hey, Poland, we got an enemy over there. A big enemy is gonna attack, is gonna destroy you. They're gonna take your livelihood and they're gonna occupy you and all that. Without our help, you cannot make it. So how about we can help you? Yeah, bring some troops over. So they make you request troops to come and occupy you. Make no mistakes, those NATO troops that are over there are usually only one directional. They're not, in a reciprocal exchange of troops. Like you're not going to have, let's say, some Polish military bases in, Oregon or in California. No. To defend the United States' or NATO's western flank against the Chinese or the North Koreans. No, somehow that's not happening. But you have only the other way around. So that tells you who's who, what's what. And now we're supposed to believe this German economy ministry who calls for joint EU response to US Inflation Act. Do you think that's for real? Or do you think it's just for us weasels to say, yes, this is for real, man. Yeah, we are independent and we're going to fight. We're going to oppose those protectionist, policies or whatever the Americans are doing with their inflation act and blah, blah, blah. Do you think that's for real? Yeah, man, it's for real. I don't think it's for real. I think it's just for us and for them think that, they're independent and look, they are going to, push back on the American economic imperialism because we're free and independent. Bullshit. I don't think that's the case. But hey, let's read and see what these guys are saying. Maybe they provide the evidence. Until I see change and hope, then I will not believe this is true. It's just a staged little play. This article comes from Reuters, and it says like this. This is the title. German Economy Ministry calls for joint EU response to US Inflation Act. All right, that would be how an independent country or entity acts. Berlin. Germany wants a joint European response to the US Inflation Reduction Act and would involve simplifying rules on state support and expanding funding opportunities, according to a German economy minister document seen by Reuters on Friday. They will involve simplifying rules on state support. What does that mean? That means the state will support the people. That means more power for the state, the government, that would have power over the people. What does that mean? I'm the big daddy and I'm not gonna give you how much I consider I should give you. So I create a bad situation economically. You cannot survive, and I go and expanding funding opportunities. And I go and borrow in your name, get you the money so you can survive a situation I created, sanctions, for instance, and getting away from cheap gas from the bad Russians. You cannot survive. I, as a government, have to fix it somehow, something that I kind of created by imposing sanctions on those guys. That was not necessary. And then what do? In your name, that means you're going to become a slave. I go and borrow in your name money because I work in deficit. That's how the German economy is, in deficit. I would get that one, give you the money to help you survive. You're going to keep working. You're going to give money back to those banks with interest. And I'm the good guy. I'm the one who decides what you do, how much you're going to pay, how much taxes you're going to be, giving back to those guys as interest. And those guys are going to make money. I'm going to be in power and you're going to work like a slave. Congratulations. This is what I take maybe wrong, out of this little thing. But all this is in the name of good. They will help you guys. But why? Because the circumstances. Who's responsible for those circumstances? Putin. All right, now you got it right. Right? So rules on state support, money, and expanding funding opportunities according to a German economy. Now, funding could be for businesses. So they will facilitate money, borrowing, lending to the German economy or businesses. That's a good thing or a bad thing, because if you have a bad environment, you can lend as much money as you want to companies to make it. You just get them deeper in debt, and they will file for bankruptcy somewhere along the way. And then what are they going to do? The companies, they used something for collateral, and the bankers then have a lose. Don't worry about that one. Why? It's not because they are bad. It's because the circumstance created, the conditions that were created, economic conditions. Who created those? Putin. The European Union could set up a program to promote green technology. When I hear that, I feel like smacking someone. Green technology by combining various funding elements to avoid budget constraints. The Innovation Fund could increase support for large-scale projects for clean technologies, for example, or the European Investment Bank could take on more risk through guarantees, it said. Now, I didn't read this article before. I'm reading it as right now, so I don't know what they're going to say. The problem is here, green energy. You're not going to, this is what they're trying to do actually. They try to, anyway, they will seal the fossil fuel and they will try to give us the green energy. And I guarantee you, based on the evidence, you just have to use mathematics. That's all. The green energy will not be able to replace the fossil fuel at this point or maybe ever, and have you enjoy your lives as you do. The European Union, yes, all right. The ministry document also suggests member states could anchor sustainability criteria more firmly in public tenders at the national level, as well as extend or increase traditional subsidy programs. Subsidy programs, what they tell you? I didn't read this yet. Borrow, I'm subsidizing you, I have the power to give you, and you're going to pay back to the banking systems. But you're going to pay back, not me. I'm good where I'm at. But who created the conditions? Putin again. But warned against content requirements, which blah, 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 blah. This would not only likely contradict World Trade Organization law, according to the document, but also contribute to a further erosion of the World Trade Order. What trade order? You guys change while you play. You change the rules while you're involved in a game. That's not how things work. When things don't work your way, you don't change the rules to make it work in your way. But exactly what you do. Look at the Russians. You impose sanctions, you freeze their assets in the middle of what? And you call this, you put caps on price? What's that, a price cap? That's a socialist issue. I'm going to control how much you can sell it for. What are you talking about? Is I dictate how long you're going to live? Is that how it works? Yes, that's how it works. Why? Because they have the power. World Trade Order. While European countries welcome Washington's investment drive for green technology, I don't want to hear about green technology. I don't want to hear. It's such a childish, utopic idea. I'm going to tell you how I think about it. I would like, as everybody else, that's the reason why they are so successful. They give you some ideals like this, green technology, environment, love. Yes, we all like that. Is it possible? I don't think so. It is possible if we don't have cars anymore. I say, well, we're going to have batteries. How do you make the batteries? How do you make your batteries? Lithium, and the batteries and the cars will be made of what? What are you going to make it? Plastic? Is your seat going to be made of plastic or leather? Where do you get the plastic from? How do you produce the plastic? What kind of materials are you going to use? Lithium, how you produce lithium for the batteries? How do you manufacture it? How do you dig it out? How do you produce this? How you, huh? Okay, how is a car made? Out of what? A steel? What? A metal? How do you produce that? And it's a metal. How do you extract it? I mean, really, really, look at us. How do you produce this with windmills? Do you think that, or with the sun? Do you really believe that? You don't know anything about physics then. See if that output is able to sustain our economy or our lifestyles as they are. But they don't tell you that. They don't tell you, well, we're going to live in a cave and you're going to use clean energy. Yes, I'm exaggerating. But they don't tell these weasels. We all are for that. We are for clean energy, clean this and clean that. But when they tell you, well, but you're not going to have this, you're not going to have this, you're going to live like that, I guarantee you a lot of people will say, what? No more Coca-Cola for me? No more air conditioning for me? Wow, I should not use energy when it's winter. I should have, I don't know, my thermostat at, 50 degrees Fahrenheit, or 10 degrees Celsius in my house, because the power grid cannot support that, because I don't have enough wind or sun, or whatever else. Yeah, they don't tell you that. They tell you how great those things are. And believe me, there are going to be some people who are going to control it. Who are those people? And they're going to charge you for carbon emission. Really? Who's going to charge me? I don't want to be charged for carbon emission. I don't want to be charged for breathing in and breathing out. I don't want to be charged by how much oxygen I use and how much CO2 or whatever I breathe out. I don't want that to happen. They will get to that. You breathe too fast. You breathe too much. You can't. There's going to be putting limits of how much you should, put your lungs. They're going to charge your lung capacity. These are crazy people. These are crazy people, and I'm exaggerating, of course. So yeah, the European Union and Washington have established a joint task force in hope of resolving the dispute over the 430 billion act. So that's what the act between these guys. Nothing's gonna happen. The Americans are protecting their shit. They put certain people in power where they put it, and they're gonna take over your little economy and industry because they facilitate and they protect their things. They have less energy. You pay less for energy here. In Europe, you pay more. The certain kind of industries from Europe will move to United States of America. And what are you gonna produce? Massage, blowjobs, and what? Alcohol exchange? That's what you're gonna, services? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna produce? Nothing? What if a country says, you know what, I'm not gonna give you this today? What are you gonna do about it? Starve? Well, basically. Did you think about that? Well, no, that's not gonna happen because those guys are our allies and friends and they will not do this to us. Only Russians will do that. They will blackmail us with gas and oil. That's why we should not depend on them. We should depend on these guys. Why? Because they are the good people. I mean, this is an infantile way of seeing life. But hey, they're allowed to do it. The problem is they vote. But anyway, we go again to voting. Okay, yeah, all right. Europe will not do shit about it. First, can't. There's not the will. They say, well, the will, there's the determination. Well, we're going to talk about it in about 2 months and see if anything happened in 2 months. If the Europeans did something concrete to change. Did you hear already what it is? Subsidies, that means loans, right? For these guys and more control. We're going to determine who's who, what's what. For green energy. What are the consequences? We're going to live as we live and better. I don't want to live worse. Why would I want to live a worse life? Why would I want to do that? You want to do that? You do it. You want to impose that on me? You say, yeah, Emil, but you impose the other thing on me. Well, if you prove me that your thing is really working and is going to, don't diminish my life. Otherwise, why would I go and work? Why don't you just stay home and watch TV? Why should I go to work? I go to work because I want to survive. I want to have better things, better life. Be happy. That's all the life I have, as far as I know. I mean, if you have another one, that's your thing. But that's imaginary. That's your thing. It's not me. I don't know. The reality is, oh, wow. That means that's my reality. I'm here right now. Anyway, Europe is not going to do anything. Europe is a vassal entity, organization, union, however you want to call it. and it's already caught by its, I was about to say balls, dingy-lingy, by the Zimbabwe from across the Atlantic. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.